when a guy goes down face first, though. When the guy goes down face first.
Wait, what was that? After a week of devastating losses in the courtroom and in his personal life, Donald Trump was desperately looking for a win. So, naturally, he went to a UFC fight. In his first appearance since being charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, Donald Trump made a surprise visit to Miami for UFC 287. Trump was so desperate for positive attention that he knew he could take refuge in an arena full of his supporters. Trump sat front row with his best friends, UFC boss Dana White, Kid Rock, and Mike Tyson. Trump was also there with his son Don Jr., but he was forced to sit at the kids' table, which I'm guessing Eric Trump, Madison Cawthorn, and Marco Rubio also had to sit. And here's Trump chatting with Kid Rock, whose real name, if you didn't know, is Robert James Ritchie. Hold on, is Kid Rock wearing a Coors jacket? Oh, right, it's because Kid Rock hates Bud Light now.
Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Kid Rock got so triggered by Bud Light partnering with transgender TikTok star Dylan Mulvaney that he bought cases of Bud Light just to shoot it. Kid Rock is a transphobic troll who's just now getting outraged at a beer that he's been drinking for years, not to mention that they've been partnered with Glad for 2 decades. And he'll probably be more upset when he finds out that Coors has been an industry leader in its support for LGBTQ consumers and causes for years. I swear, Republicans never do their own research when trying to own the libs. Anyway, the one-term, twice impeached and currently once indicted former president didn't look so great, especially on the right side of his face.
And Octagon side with us tonight, 45, President Donald Trump.
Okay, I'm no doctor, but the droop on the right side of his face looks kind of suspicious, almost like the result of a stroke. Here's another photo of Trump looking droopy. Also, the bags under Trump's eyes look like they were filled with the same stuffing that's in Mike Lindell's My Pillows. But who knows? Maybe it's true what they say. The camera adds 30 pounds and makes you look drugged, confused, and pathetic. I mean, I can't imagine the stress of Trump's indictment and the additional investigations are doing wonders on his health. Here's another photo of Trump at the UFC fight looking absolutely drained and barely there for his fans. He looks more like a rejected wax figure from Madame Tussauds. And of course, people in Trump's cult think that his visit to UFC 287 is an acknowledgement of Q. But then there are other people in the cult who don't think the real Donald Trump was actually at the UFC match. So in his attempt to seem somewhat alive, Trump watched the fight between vocal Trump supporter Jorge Masvidal and Gilbert Burns. Masvidal used his retirement speech to start a "Let's Go Brandon" chant in the arena after giving praise to Donald Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Also want to say, greatest president in the history of the world, sitting right there. I love that guy. We also got the greatest governor of all time here in Florida. Let's keep Florida free, a red state, and let's take that. You know who? Let's go Brandon out of power and replace him. If I could get it just one time. Let's go Brandon!
As someone from the Latino community, I am always dumbfounded by those who support Trump, especially because he's a racist. Remember Trump's presidential announcement speech back in 2015?
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Like I said, dumbfounded. Trump's cult will happily go broke for him, name their kids after him, and commit heinous crimes for him, which is sad when you remember that he doesn't care about anyone but himself. Anyway, Masvidal lost his final professional fight, so I guess it's true what they say. Everything Trump touches dies. Honestly, when I first saw Trump at the UFC fight, I thought he was going to be doing commentary. You know, like the time that Trump spent the 20th anniversary of September 11th commentating a boxing match on pay-per-view. And here's Trump doing promotion before the fight.
If you had to box somebody on Saturday night, who would it be and what would the fight look like?
Well, if I had to pick somebody in the world, not only a professional boxer, because I'll take a pass on the professional boxers, that can be a very dangerous subject. But if you said, if I had to box somebody?
Anybody.
I think probably my easiest fight would be Joe Biden, because I think he'd go down very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. said, oh, I'd like to take him behind the bar, and he'd be in big trouble if he ever did. Now, I think Biden would go down within the first few seconds.
The first few seconds?
And then here he is with Down Jr. trying to increase the pay-per-view sales.
Guys, I think this is going to be a lot of levity at the end of a rather somber day. Have a little bit of fun. Don't forget to shoot me your questions. I may have to finally twist his arm a little bit to find out about Area 51 and the aliens and whatever else you may want to ask about. So we're going to have some fun at the end of a somber day.
Have some fun at the end of a somber day.
And I'm just looking forward to it. Some of the great fight legends are here. Guys, you can check it out on any cable network or Fight TV. Tune in now.
Well, you can always rely on the Trumps to grift whenever possible, even on September 11th. So while former presidents and their families were commemorating the 20th anniversary by visiting families, memorials, and attack sites, Trump was at a boxing match.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. This is an honor to be with you, and what a great evening, and I think you're going to see an incredible fight.
Oh, and that fight was over in less than 2 minutes, with Belfort beating Holyfield in a first-round TKO, though, in Holyfield's defense, he was nearly 59. Also, maybe it's just me, but I get the sense that the only place that Trump feels comfortable is at a combat sporting event. I mean, hours after he announced on Truth Social that he was going to be arrested the first time, he showed up to the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the NCAA wrestling tournament. I'm honestly surprised that Trump went back to Tulsa, since the last time he was there, a bunch of TikTok teens and K-pop fans made sure his rally was a flop, which resulted in a magnificent photo of a defeated and upset Donald Trump. But I know exactly why Trump is going to these events, especially now. Trump is desperately looking for a safe space where people won't criticize him. And like a true narcissist, he needs an ego boost, like this. Also, the UFC fight was just another event where Melania has been absent. But I mean, can you blame her? Trump had sex with a porn star 4 months after his wife gave birth, and then tried to cover up paying hush money to said porn star for it to now become an indictment that has gotten international coverage. It's become very clear that Trump is not getting the support that he wants from his family. So now, Trump has to seek out that support from random people, which is kind of sad when you think about it. Well, until next episode, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That? If you enjoyed today's episode and want to support the work that goes into creating the What Was That show, you can join my Patreon at whatwasthatshow.com. You'll get access to early episodes, exclusive bits, behind-the-scenes content, access to the show's private Discord, as well as live Q&As to connect directly with me to offer up comments, questions, and suggested topics to be featured on the show. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you over on Patreon.